Hello, everybody. This is Benny Hills back with my first ever Supreme Vintage Cube draft. So super excited about this. Never played this format before, going in blind. So we'll see how it goes. It's actually not fully blind because I had a subscriber named Trip send me a really cool thing. He made like a Vintage Cube simulator, or Supreme Vintage Cube simulator, and I ran a couple drafts on that. Found myself often sort of almost getting pushed into Storm and then not ending up with a good Storm deck. So I actually, one time I just didn't have the win condition. One time I had like a win condition and good card draw, but like not quite enough mana. So we'll see. I actually am beginning to think Storm might not be quite as dominant as I was worried it would be at first, but we will see about that. I'm still anticipating that a lot of people will be forcing Storm a lot. So yeah, we will hop on in. This is also my first time having a video edited by my new editor, William. So pretty excited about that. Say hi to him in the comments, everyone. And yeah, I was sort of hoping to get the first trophy, but work went late and wasn't able to start. So we'll have to catch new mod at some point, but we will hop right on in. I'm excited for this. Okay, so no power here, which is a little bit unfortunate. This pack is honestly a little bit medium to start. I mean, there's a lot of good cards for sure. Like Raphelos, I don't really think this is going to be like a Raphelos type format, but Raphelos is a great card. Through the Reach is okay. Factor Fiction is good card draw, although this is the sort of card that I think does get a decent amount worse in this format because there's just so much better card draw in the format. There's a Wooded Foothills, Flooded Strand. Let's see. This is also pretty good. There's going to be so many Moxing around, so this is always going to be able to steal Mox, but you do have to pay 3 mana for that. The fact that X can't be 0 makes that card quite a bit worse. I think we almost definitely want to take a Flooded Strand. I'm not quite sure what else. One thing to note is there's 18 boosters, so you get 36 turtle cards, which is quite a few less than you get in a normal draft, 45. So you can't really afford to spend like 10 picks on lands as much as you can in other formats, but I still think an early Flooded Strand is not necessarily forcing you down that path. I mean, we could honestly just take Flooded Strand and Wooded Foothills, which I realize is a little ironic given what I just said. I don't really want to lead on Raphelos. I just think like mono green is probably going to be pretty weak here. Like if there was a Raphelos and a Crater Hoof and a Gaia's Cradle or something, that's one thing. But if it's just like, I'm not going to take Raphelos Hex Drinker to start here. Out of the blue cards, it's between Factor Fiction and Thieving Skydiver, in my opinion. And there's a decent argument for Thieving Skydiver. In normal Vintage Cube, I would lead on Flooded Strand, and Factor Fiction would be my second pick. But I just don't know. I mean, this is always going to be able to hit a Mox, pretty much. On the other hand, if we have an early Through the Breach, we can build around it very effectively. It is a little expensive, but it can just win. And like, if you're going to spend 4 mana, you'd rather do, 4 or 5 mana. I think you want it to be doing something like really proactive, not just drawing cards. I think I'm going to go with, Through the Breach Flooded Strand here. I definitely want to take the Flooded Strand, and I think Through the Breach is the next best option. Okay. There's an Ulamog to pair with our Through the Breach. Still no fast mana or anything, which is definitely unfortunate. Ashiok is probably just the best card. We could also take a reanimation card. Oh man, this format's going to be really overwhelming. I love it. I mean, I'm already enjoying it and excited to see where it goes, but it is definitely a lot. Going 3 colors seems a little bit dicey, but we're definitely not wedded Through the Breach. I mean, we could take Ulamog and I guess I don't want to take Ulamog and Ashiok because Ashiok is good in like this sort of control deck, and Ulamog is good in a Through the Breach deck, and I don't want to be playing Grixis. If we were to just go with the control route, we could take Ashiok and then maybe Phantasmal Image or Bloodchief's Thirst. Phantasmal Image I think will be solid in this format. It's not going to be super creature-centric, but if your opponent's going like channeling something huge or whatever, then Phantasmal Image can be nice. We could just take the Ulamog and sort of continue on this Through the Breach plan. How good is Ashiok? It's very good against Storm. It's a little slow, but if we pick up some Moxen, we can drop it early. I think I'm actually going to go with Bloodchief's Thirst and Ashiok here. Sort of potentially move away from the Through the Breach plan. If this was an Emrakul or a Blightsteel Colossus, like a card that really wins in one hit, that's one thing. But this is like not amazing. I mean, spending 5 mana to hit them for 10 and make them sacrifice 4 things is like so broken in any context other than Supreme Vintage Cube. I mean, yeah, taking Arbor Elf and Devoted Druid would be nice if we were doing that mono green thing. But I think I like taking the Bloodchief's Thirst and the Ashiok here. Bloodchief's Thirst could just be bad, I will acknowledge. But I just really don't know how many people are going to be playing creatures. If this is very good against creatures, and it can deal with planeswalkers too. I mean, we could just take Animate Dead, actually. Maybe that's better. That's definitely a little higher payoff. Yeah, I think we'll go Ashiok Animate Dead here. And, like, move maybe towards, like, Blue-Black Reanimator or something like that. Okay. So, there's Bazaar for Reanimator, but I don't think we want to do that. Ancient Tomb is good, but I kind of think we should just take Daze Preordain here. I almost definitely want to take the Preordain, and the Daze is just such, like, I really, really need to have cheap interaction. And so I think that's probably what we should just take here. There's not really any black cards I'm considering. Ancient Tomb is good, but I don't think it's great. And I think at this point we're more likely to be black than red. And, like, if we had, like, Entomb Grizzlebrand already and we were pretty committed to the Reanimator thing, I could imagine taking Bazaar, but that's just not really where we're at right now. Okay. This pack is not great for us. We're seeing a lot of green. I sort of wish that we had taken the Raphaelos, honestly, as weird as that may seem. The blue cards here are fine. Urza, well, we don't have any acceleration for Urza at the moment. Library of Alexandria is obviously a good card in some situations, but I think this is really not the best format for it. What I really, really want is super cheap interaction, and, like, not Fatal Push. That's not the kind of interaction we want. We could take the Corpse Dance, but I don't know how likely that is to happen. Let's see. I don't really want to take a library here, but I honestly think that might be the right pick. This is actually a very bad start. Like, this would be a great start to a normal Vintage Cube draft, but I think this is very, very weak for 3 packs in to give a little reality check there. It's sort of funny because normally it'd be like, oh, late Noble Hierarch, we should move in on that, but everything's open, so that's not really a consideration. It's a bummer that these blue cards are just pretty bad. Maybe we should just take the Emery. It's not good for us yet. Actually, yeah, I kind of like taking Emery Urza here. It's not good for us yet, but we're sort of banking on getting a couple Moxen later. And if we do get Moxen, then this is really good. And it also can enable Animate Dead if we end up going down that route. And I just think Library is just too slow for this sort of format, so we'll go with this. Ooh, okay, that's nice. Now we're getting some of that power. We got the Soul Ring. There is a Shallow Grave and an Ashen Rider, so there's some Reanimator stuff. I'm just going to take the Soul Ring because that's definitely what we want. I kind of think we should take a Shallow Grave here. I mean, there's definitely no, like, control-y cards or, like, interaction that I want. So we could take Ashen Rider or Shallow Grave, I guess, and I think Shallow Grave is just a higher upside. Like, Ashen Rider is not really... I really want to be playing, like, absolute top-tier reanimation targets if we do Reanimator. We could also just take a Sower and move off of the Reanimator plan. No, actually, I think I'm going to do that. This might look weird, because this is definitely, like, more of a Legacy Cube card than this format, but I think players will be skimping on removal. I mean, I'm skimping on removal, and they'll be playing some broken creatures, so I think this could actually be pretty nice. And I don't think any of the cards we're passing there are very good. Well, another Shallow Grave, so we really could have gone in on that plan. Kolaghan's Command is great if we can make the mana work, but I don't think that's very likely. I think I like taking Brazen Borrow here as a piece of cheap interaction. And then Trinket Mage can find Soul Ring. Yeah, I think I like that plan. We'll go with these. I really, really want to pick up a Force of Will. Well, there's that Gaia's Cradle. There's a Chalice, but that's just a little bit on the slow side, I think. There's a Marsh Flat. I think we want the Glen. Glen is going to be really nice here. And then it's between Marsh Flats, Chart a Course, and Dark Confidant. Bob is tempting. It's better if we have Moxen, which it's very annoying that we have no Moxen yet. Technically, we have no power, even though Soul Ring basically is. But I think it's probably smart to take the Marsh Flats here. Bob would be good, but I really want to have good mana, and this is, this has also, like, value with, like, Delve if we get some Delve, or Shuffle effects. It's like a Shuffle effect, whatnot. So I think it's worth it to take the fetch here. Okay, that is nice. Now we can finally get some power. Hole Breacher. Oh, this is a new addition. This card is pretty sweet. There's also another Emery. I think the Emery is probably the right pick here. Hole Breacher is good, but I'm really hoping to be able to make these Emerys work. Yeah, I think that's what we should pick up here. So we'll take these two. Hole Breacher is nice. Shutting down all your opponent's card draw. We already have one Emery. Yeah, I think we can build around having multiple Emerys. But like that makes artifacts even more of a premium. So holy cow, we could have had so many Shallow Graves. I definitely think we want the Probe here. Chalice is good with Emery, but pretty bad in general. We don't really have a win condition yet. I mean, Ashiok is sort of a win condition. We could honestly be just mono blue. We do not have many black cards. I think we should just take the Probe and the Bob here. I mean, we could still move into this through the breach thing, but we don't have a sneak attack. Yeah, I think this is better. Well, there's a channel, but I think we definitely want the Underground Sea. We could have had so many Shallow Grave type effects. There's another Emery. Holy cow, this format is ridiculous. We're definitely taking this. And then for the other pick, I mean, we could take a Worm Coil. We could just take the third Emery, but I don't think that's good. I think I'm actually going to take one Deluge for the board. That could be a really nice option in some matchups. Okay, this is a great pack for us. Grave Titan would be fine, but Inquisition is just the kind of cheap interaction I'm looking for, and then Mana Vault is also great. So we will take those two cards. Nice. Time Walk. Okay, Lotus Petal is good. Prismatic Vista is good, but I think I would rather just take another Underground Sea. So we can take the Underground Sea and the Time Walk here. And in terms of win condition, we do need to worry about that a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I would love to pick up like another Ashiok, honestly. I think, yeah, I would rather the Underground Sea than the Prismatic Vista. We have no need for a Shuffle effect right now. If we had like two Brainstorms, that could be different, but we'll take these two. All right, Dark Ritual is good. Miscalc is good. Demir Signet is okay. This is pretty cool. I like that, but we're not going to be taking it here. I definitely want the Miscalc. Dark Ritual doesn't really do that much for us. What does this do? That's a sort of weird card to add. Shark Typhoon is maybe interesting. Do we want the Demir Signet? Actually, maybe we do want the Signet if we have multiple Emerys and Urza. This also gives us, like, you know, we could potentially try and pick up, like, a late Tinker and go that route as well. So I think I should go with this over the Shark Typhoon. Ooh, okay. Black Lotus is a good one. And then I think we just take a second Glen. Memory Jar is an option. Academy Ruins is an option. But Black Lotus Emery is just so good. And we have two Emerys. Okay, another Mox. That is nice. And a Tinker. Okay, so we don't have a target yet, but that would really bring this deck together a lot. So I think we're going to just take Tinker and Mox and hope to find something good. I mean, you know I hate to pass it time to Fairy. Actually, Mind Twist could be really good here, too. Maybe we're actually supposed to pass the Tinker, as weird as that may seem. This puts us low on win conditions, but when we have Black Lotus, Mana Vault, Soul Ring, and like multiple Moxen, that just makes Mind Twist so much better. Yeah, I actually think I'm going to do that. If we immediately like see some really sweet artifact we could tinker into, I'll feel a little stupid about this, but I think the Mind Twist is actually good enough that it's worth it here. There's a Tolarian Academy and a Mind Slaver. Signet. I think I like taking the Academy. And then I honestly think we should go with the Mind Slaver here. Mind Slaver Emery can be a win condition. And we have multiple Emerys. Yeah, that actually definitely seems right. Okay, another channel. There's Manaleek, Sensei's Top, and Flooded Strand. I almost definitely want the Manaleek. I really do want to have this interaction. And then, let's see, where are we at for spells? We have 25 spells at the moment. Sensei's Top would be nice with Tinker, and also with Emery. And with Urza. Yeah, I don't think at this point we're playing this. How good is the Flooded Trend? I mean, our mana's pretty good. We already have 4 dual lands. I don't think we need more mana, actually, more mana fixing. So let's go with a cheap artifact. We could also take the Soulfire, but I don't really want to have to make that mana work. Okay. Fallen Shinobi is great, but we're not really doing that sort of thing. There's a Tendrils, which is sort of funny, but also not doing that. Mystical Tutor can find Mind Twist and Time Walk. We don't have Ancestral, though. At least yet. We could take a third Glen, just for max interaction. We could also take a Hindu Torok. It's a little bit annoying that both of our Moxen are off color, but can't really complain about that. Lion's Eye Diamond doesn't do that much. I mean, it's valuable with Urza, but it's not great. I don't think we really want a Signet here. I think I'm going to take the Mystical Tutor in case we find Ancestral and just a third Glen. I think Glen is so good in this format. Oh, wait, that was the last pack, so I sort of regret the Mystical pick, but it's not too bad. Oh, we need to make some cuts. So we'll cut the Sower for now. I do think Trinket Mage is good. Triple Glen might be slight overkill. This is tough, man. I think this deck is pretty good. I mean, I really don't have a frame of reference. I guess I'll cut 1 Glen. That's probably a little excessive. And then if we do 15 lands, and then these 3 other mana sources, like, in terms of mana sources, we have a ton. I mean, I don't normally like counting non-lands as lands, but in this case, when we have so many, I think that might be okay. And our curve is also pretty low. Yeah, I think this is what we want to do. I'm tempted to bring in the Mystical, but I just think it's not quite worth it here. All right, yeah, we'll run this. So our win conditions are Ashiocking them out or using Emery and cycling Mindslaver to take infinite turns. And we have a ton of cheap interaction between Miscalc, Mana Leak, Daze, and Inquisition. In addition to like Mind Twist, I think this is pretty fast. And we have Black Lotus, we have Soul Ring. I mean, this deck is good. I think like maybe we should play the Mystical Tutor with Soul Ring, Black Lotus, and Sensei's Top. Mind Twist is just so good. So maybe we're supposed to bring that in and cut. Let's see. Trinket Mage has tons of good targets, but it's a little slow. We could cut the Bob. I think I might just cut the Demir Signet, actually. It's just like, we're not really ramping into 4 drops. We do have these Glens, but like, I think 6 artifacts is enough for Tinker, or for Tolarian Academy, and for Emery's to be good. 6 cheap ones. So yeah, I think we'll run it like this. All right, I'm nervous. I mean, I'm so ready to just get stormed off on turn 1. We have Daze, which is free interaction, but we don't have any forces. So we'll see. This could go poorly. I think the Bob is worth it. We have a lot of ways to turn 1 it, and I don't think there'll be much removal. And we also just don't have that much card draw, actually. That could be potentially a big problem now that I look at it. But I think this deck is pretty sweet. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Against like Storm, we can bring in like another Glen from the board. Against creatures, we can bring in Deluge and Sower, so we have some sideboard options. We can even bring in Animate Dead against Reanimator. That's sort of fun. So yeah, we will see how this goes. I'm nervous, but quite excited. See you in round 1. All right, here we are for round 1 against Sedando, and we are on the play, which is very nice for this sort of format. And this hand is great. We will definitely keep it. We have no artifacts to pair with the Tolarian Academy, but we'll find them. And we have access to a counterspell as early as turn 1, which is pretty important, I think. I'm most likely just going to go for the Explorer here with the Time Walk, but we'll see what we are preordaining into. Okay, I don't want the Mystical Tutor here. I think I'm good with Mana Leak, though. We're playing more of a control game here than like a really fast combo game, but I think that is sort of what this deck is trying to do. I'm not going to Daze the Mox Ruby. Soul Ring I actually will Daze, though, I think. Yep, I am going to Daze this. This just makes 2 mana. It is annoying because it means we don't have access to Mana Leak or Time Walk next turn. So it does slow us down quite a bit, but I think Soul Ring is worth it. The opponent is hesitating here, so it looks like they might either they're lamenting the fact that they didn't play land before that, or they okay, yep, they're lamenting that fact. That's pretty hilarious. Jeez, are you kidding me? Okay. If they have Mox, Mana Crypt, and Soul Ring on turn 1, then you got me, I guess. Alright, so we'll just drop the island, play around Wasteland. We don't have Hymn to Torok or any need for double black on turn 2. So this is really scary. I mean, our opponent has access to 5 mana on turn 2, despite the fact that we had a counterspell for their Soul Ring. So that is pretty broken, obviously. Are you kidding me? Another Mox. Okay. Well, they have us in terms of power cards. No play, though, so maybe this Mana Leak can put in some work. I'm just going to go Island Pass here. I don't really want to Time Walk. It's pretty likely they have a counterspell of some sort. So I think this is probably the best line. All right, we have our win condition. Boom, 3 damage to the face. So they have. I sort of regret keeping this Mana Leak just because I was not expecting them to have that much fast mana. But the thing to keep in mind is, like, these are just lands. Like, it's broken when you play all these cards on turn 1. But if they don't actually do anything with their mana advantage, then we can just play lands and completely undo the advantage that they've accumulated. Time Twister. Well, we could Mana Leak this to tap them out of 3 mana, or Brazen Borrower to bounce one of their things. I think I'm just going to bounce their Mana Crypt here. We're just astronomically behind, though. I mean, they have a huge mana advantage, and we'll both have 7 cards in hand. Hold Breacher. Okay. Oh, okay, I'm just going to concede. That's pretty brutal. So we don't draw any cards. I mean, yeah, we're just dead. So that was really brutal. We just got absolutely dominated there. The opponent's deck is just so good. I mean, we have a lot of Moxen too, but they played, I think, 5 0 mana or 1 mana of these power artifacts. So that is pretty disgusting. Do we want to make any changes? I don't think so. I think we're just going to hope that they don't draw all of those cards again. So in that game, I was sort of assuming the Days and Mana Leak would be enough, but maybe that's just like way, way below par for this sort of format. We'll definitely keep this, though. This is better than the last hand, I think. We have access to turn 1 discard into Counterspell into Mind Twist, so I think this is pretty good. We will lead on land. I actually sort of want them to wasteland me here, so I'm fine with this. Wow, this hand is so much worse than their last hand. We'll take the 1 card that we can. Why would they ever keep this, actually? That is the most easy mulligan I've ever seen. Strip mine our land, sure. Mana Vault. Okay. So I'm going to go Underground Sea, Mox Pearl, Mana Vault, and then just pass holding up Mana Leak, and the next turn we'll just Mind Twist their entire hand. Looks like they have a play here. What is it, Soul Ring? That's annoying. I don't want to Mana Leak that, though. I'm just going to take out their entire hand. Probe, okay. Well, we can, I guess I'll start with the Probe for life just to see what we draw. We already know we're taking all of these cards, though. So land, Mind Twist you for 5. So we don't really have much going on either. We just have these 2 counterspells, and we are going to be taking damage from this Mana Vault, but I think our opponent just has no mana right now, so these counterspells are going to be very strong, I think. Best draw would be a Emery, I think. Mindslaver is the worst draw, probably. Oh, Ashiok would also... Actually, Ashiok would definitely be the best draw. This Daze is looking a little awkward against the Soul Ring, but we'll see how things go. Seagate Stormcaller. Not... Oh, I think I'm just gonna mana leak this just to use my mana. I'm sort of hoping to untap this. I mean, it is just a 2/1, but that could actually make a difference here. Funnily enough, like we are really far away from doing anything. Okay, so next turn we're just gonna untap this mana vault. Okay, easy days here. Oof. Okay, I really regret untapping that mana vault, but that's okay. That was a great draw. So now we're in pretty good shape. I mean, we are out of counterspells, so we'll see what they do. They have 4 mana, no play though. Okay, yeah, I think we're in good shape now. So we can go land and drop this Urza. And Urza can, I mean, we could even spin the Urza here by tapping the mana vault. Is that worth it? We did already play land. I actually think it is worth it. I'm not worried about the life loss from mana vault now. Okay, we've got to play free top. That's really nice. We can just tap the top to spin itself now, end of turn, which is sort of sweet. To sort of effectively scry 1. Or scry 3. Although, not really scry, but sort of. So we will tap this for mana, and then pay 1 to look at the top 3. Alright, I'll draw a Trinket Mage. Not paying mana for this. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. Cast the Trinket Mage. Search up a Soul Ring. Cast the Soul Ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't be. We should definitely attack. I want to spin the Urza just because it's fun, but that's definitely not the right line. So we'll chip for 6. Alright, and a turn, spin top again, see what we'll get. Tolarian Academy. Okay, that I think we do want. That just gives us so much mana that we can really go off with Urza. We will not pay the mana here. Take the 1. Actually, wait, no, we definitely just go for the Mindslaver here. Mana Drain. Okay. Let's see. I kind of want to. Yeah, we should spin the Urza in response here. Glenn. Oh, I mean that's good. That's very good. But it does mean they still get to counter our Mindslaver. So, all right, they conceded that. Sweet. So we're sort of playing the mirror. It looks like they might be mono blue, just like mono blue broken artifacts. Their hand was absolutely atrocious. They had no plays until turn 4, counting the strip mine on 1. So I don't know why they kept. But if they have all that fast mana again, we'll be in pretty rough shape, to be honest. Do we make any changes? Glenn seems pretty good. I mean, they conceded to it there, but it is slow. I think I'm just going to run it back like this. Yeah, we'll just run it back. All right, this hand is pretty sweet. We'll keep it. I mean, Black Lotus is good. We don't have any turn 1 interaction, so if they just turn 1 a Time Twister, we're in horrendous shape, but hopefully they don't do that. And now we have to decide. We could just go turn 1 Ashiok. That's probably worth it. Yeah, I think that is worth it. So we'll go... Do we want to also preordain? I think we do. So we can go Underground Sea, Black Lotus, crack it for black, or for blue. Yeah. Underground Sea, Black Lotus, crack it for blue. Preordain, then Ashiok. Actually, other way around, because I want to be able to pay for days if they have it. So, Underground Sea, Ashiok. Bunch of blue mana. We hit Mana Drain. That's sort of nice to get rid of. Okay, do we want land? I actually think I am going to keep a swamp here because if they've strip mine, I really want to have access to 2 mana since we have all these 2 mana spells. So I think this is the right play. And now, if they have a really good play, they can get through days. This turn, we're in very bad shape. But if we get to untap and then just hold up Mana Leak plus days with Nashiok in play, I think we probably just win. Tinker. Okay, that is definitely something we're going to daze. Don't have a daze or a force. All right, sweet. So we don't have access to a counterspell this turn because we lost our mana source. Mox would be an amazing draw. Okay, Mystical Tutor is fine. We'll go Island, hit them for 3. We got their Hull Breacher, which actually we might want to just put into play next turn. We can Mystical Tutor for Time Walk. Normally that's not a great line, but I think when we have Ashiok in play, it actually is. Yeah, I think that's worth it. But I'm actually not going to play it this turn, funnily enough. I want to hold up the Mana Leak this turn. So we'll drop this. Actually, wait, no. We should definitely get our Counterspell mana into play first, and then we will drop their Hull Breacher to insulate ourselves against their draw 7s. And again, holding this time lock because if they just go like Counterspell, untap, jam some threat that we can't really deal with effectively, then that's really bad. Whereas now they have to have like cheap threat plus Counterspell to back it up, and then even if they do have that, then we can use Time Walk to try and like recoup and find a way to deal with it. It's a little annoying that this Ashiok has just hit 4 islands. Like I would have loved to have hit their Tinker target or something, but I think it should be okay. This deck is really, really missing a Force of Will, though. I can tell you that much for sure. Daze has pulled a lot of work, so that's been good, but just one of that effect is not really enough. Ooh, Mox Ruby was a great draw. So we'll hit them for 3. Took their Narset Strip Mine Mox, alright. And we will beat for 3. This card's pretty sweet. The fact that it's like a 3/2, that's a reasonable body for its mana too, in addition to its ability. And Time Walk. Mana Drain. Okay, I'll bite. I'll go for the Mana Leak here. If they have another Counterspell, then they only have one other card in hand. Plus, Mana Leak is honestly getting to the point where it might be dead. They have a very low curve, I think. Alright, sweet. Mana Vault, not really what we were looking for. We hit Solemn and Trinket Mage. Solemn should probably not be in their deck, but whatever. I'm just going to drop the Mana Vault. Like, we could cycle the Miscalc, but I think it's still worth the hold up for a bit. If they play a land or something, I'll cycle this end of turn, but I think for now this is fine. Lodestone Golem. Do I even care about that? I think it is worth miscalculating, actually. It's not amazing, but I think it's probably still worth it. Like, we could just put... I mean, we could block with a Hull Breacher or something, but I would rather keep... Like, their life total is actually sort of low, so I think I'd rather just keep on pressuring them and, like, make them do something more dramatic. Okay, Island was really what we wanted to see. So we hit Blightsteel plus Time Twister and Basalt Monolith. Okay. Do we want to drop this land? I think we do. We don't have any Brainstorm type effects, and like if they somehow kill this and then play draw 7, having a lot of mana could be important. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay, that is annoying because they can bounce their own Hull Breacher. But they're still going to struggle to win before this Ashiok kills them. Mindslaver. That is a good one. We could ultimate the Ashiok to deal with their hand, but I think I'd rather just drop this Mindslaver and then plus Ashiok again. So we hit Heaving Skydiver, good to get rid of that, and then some more lands. So we haven't seen that much in the way of actual win conditions. One argument to not conceding so early in game one was just because they had, like, we didn't see their win condition. We could have learned a little bit more about their deck, but I also think, like, yeah, if my only goal was to win this match, I would have done that, I think. But I do value my time somewhat. I'm hoping to record multiple drafts tonight. So that was sort of my reason behind conceding there. But as a result, now we don't know if they have more win conditions or if they're really relying on this Blightsteel. Brainstorm, sure. They sort of need to balance this Mindslaver. I think if we can Mindslaver them for a turn, then it's pretty much just over. I will say so far. So they're playing mono blue, and I can understand the appeal. We're only playing a few black cards, but our black cards have really pulled their weight so far. Ashiok is pretty much single-handedly winning us this game, and last game, Mind Twist pretty much single-handedly won us the game, so far I'm happy that we're not just mono blue. Even though that does mean all the picks we spent on lands could have been spent on other spells and whatnot. I could imagine a lot of players drafting mono blue, but the jury's out on whether or not that's actually the best deck so far. Okay, they're spending a lot of mana here. This is scary. Urza, okay, that's not too bad. We should be able to win this now, I think, with the Mindslaver. There are some stifle effects in the cube, I think, but not many. I don't think they have that. Inquisition. Okay. Well, I think I'm actually I'm considering ultimating the Ashiok. No, that can't be right. We should definitely just keep on hitting their library. They have 2 Blightsteels. Okay. We will fire off an Inquisition. Take their Hull Breacher, probably. Yep. So they can copy something with the Metamorph, but we can mess that up for them. We'll take their Hull Breacher, and then crack this to take their turn. So we will go Soul Ring. Pay some life. Cast this and copy Mana Vault. Then spend some mana to spin the Urza. Mox Ruby, no value in playing that. Then we will Brainstorm. And we should be able to just win with this. Oh, Upheaval is a little scary. But I think it's not going to be enough, so put back. Doesn't really matter. Sure. Do that. And then we will pass the turn. Back to ourselves, of course. And then we Ashiok away their last 3 cards. All right, good game, my friend. That was quite a first match. When we just got absolutely crushed in game 1 to their 17 pieces of power, I thought it was not going to go very well for us. But we managed to rally. Also sort of cool that we both ended with exactly 1541. What are the odds? So, pretty nice. 1-0. Won my first ever match of Supreme Vintage Cube. Feels good. I will see you in round 2. Hello, everybody. We're back for round 2 against Zolan Kid, and we're on the play again, so that is pretty sweet. And our hand is excellent. We can play turn 1 Time Walk into turn 2 Ashiok. So we will lead on Island, Probe for life. Just make sure the coast is clear. Interesting, heavy black. Okay. This is fine. They have no way to deal with the Ashiok. I don't care about countering any of those cards, really. Ooh. We could... Oh, we actually can't drop that. Actually, no. It's still better to just play the Time Walk here, I think, than to get Dark Confidant down. If this was more of a card advantage type matchup, then that would be one thing, but it's not really that, I think. So we'll just go turn 1 Ashiok. Pretty nice. We have 3 mana and a Planeswalker down, and they haven't even taken a turn yet. Ooh. 2 upheavals and a Fractured Identity. That's quite a couple cards hit. So they're not mono black, that's for sure. They can go turn 1 Demonic Tutor, but next turn we can go Bob holding up Mana Leak, which is pretty nice. So play the Swamp and the Mox and the Mana Crypt, or the We're probably getting like a Black Lotus or something broken, but I think if we, I think we're still in good shape. Ashiok has been really nice here in this league thus far. All right, we will just go Underground Sea plus the Ashiok again. Hitting Winter Orb, Narset, okay. And drop the Bob and just pass with Mana Leak up. They might have gotten like a Soul Ring or something, in which case we'll probably let that resolve and then counter. Oh, they did. Actually, no, we shouldn't let them resolve. We should definitely just. I don't really care about the Coercive Portal. This cut them off of 3 mana with the Academy. So I think this is just got to be worth it. So now they can just go like Swamp Pass. If that's their line, then it's just over. All right, beautiful. Emery, all right. I think I'm going to fetch before using the Emery, because I would like to maximize my chances of hitting a spell that we can cast. Okay, we got Sensei's Top and Black Lotus. That's nice. Keep on going through their library. We hit Ashiok, Karn, and Emery. All right. There's the Academy. Hopefully they just drop the Coercive Portal. All right, sweet. So, like, Esper Control over there, I guess, splashing. Then they have a lot of swamps, more than I would expect, but they have a lot of Planeswalkers, too. This could be a sort of tough matchup for us, actually. Actually, this could be a very tough matchup for us. I think this is a situation where we do want another Glen. What do we not want? This is a lot of 4s. We're probably supposed to kill 1 Trinket Mage, I think. Like, it's good, but it's a little slow, and I don't have too many cards that cost, like, more than 2 in my opener. Yeah, I think that's right. We could have cut a land. I don't think I want to do that. So we will run it like this. We need to watch out for that Fractured Identity on one of our Planeswalkers. Or, actually, we only have 1 Planeswalker. Yeah, Fractured Identity isn't that good against us. It's good. It was good against that hand, but that's pretty much it. Ooh, this hand is pretty bad. Like, this is the sort of hand that, like, might look okay, but I think in this format it's just too bad. Did our opponent keep? They mulligan? Yeah, I think we're going to mulligan as well. It's just like no turn 1 play. Emery looks really bad here. It's just too slow. Yeah, this hand seems better. We can keep this and put back Mindslaver. I would like to find some black mana for this Dark Confidant, ideally, but we'll see what happens. Opponent on the mold of 5. There's a Mox, alright. Another Mox. Oh no, do they just have a draw 7? That's a disaster. If they have a Time Twister here, we're in terrible shape. Oof. I'm very tempted to just concede to this, to be honest. We have Brazen Borrower to bounce it and then counter on the way down. Oh, let's see what we got here. So, yeah, really our only answer to this is Brazen Borrower, which we can't get with the... Oh, not concede yet, but we're on the verge of concession here. Okay, it's probably just best to get the Mana Vault down here. They got a Glen. That's a little scary. And they hit our Ashiok, which is quite unfortunate. I don't think we want a Mystical for anything in our upkeep, so we're just going to let this happen. Let's see what we draw. Alright, so I'm just going to drop the Dark Confidant. So here I think we're probably just going to Mystical for a Time Walk. Okay, Signet is not scary. Hopefully they minus this Ashiok, because if they sack the Glen, we get it back. I don't know if they know that. If they do go for the plus, they hit Emery. Alright, so we're still alive to draw Brazen Borrower. Without the Ashiok, though, we are very light on win conditions. So I'll draw with this first and see, just get a little more information. Oh, we drew the Brazen Borrower. Okay, that's good. So I think I am going to Mystical for a Time Walk now. I guess we could have also gone for Mind Twist to bounce this, but if we can establish enough pressure, then it's actually not scary anymore. So we draw the Time Walk, play land, play Time Walk, hit them for 2 because we're going to bounce the Ashiok. Take our extra turn. Ooh, Mind Twist was... now we just win. Oh, all right. Well, I'm happy I did not concede. That really went pretty well after the first turn. So we can go Brazen Borrower to bounce your Ashiok. And then Mind Twist to take out your entire hand. Mind Twist for 3. Goodbye, hand. And, wow, they had a stacked hand. They were about to be able to play Fractured Identity. But now we can drop this and hit for 2. And now this turn, we're not going to be untapping the Mana Vault because we're probably planning on playing the Brazen Borrower. Do we want to spin the top in the upkeep is the question. I don't think we do. I think we'll just take our draw step here. Actually, oh wait, I forgot that. Never mind. We do want to spin the top. I forgot about the Bob thing. Well, that is pretty bad. So we'll drop our land, hit for 2. And then we can go end of turn, cast Brazen Borrower, and spin the top. Well, I mean, we'll definitely be putting the land back on top. So we draw with, or almost definitely be putting that land back on top, so we draw with Bob again. But then we can make sure that the card under that we draw for our turn is a good one. Well, I mean, we don't really need more mana. I guess I'll do it like this. If it wasn't for this Bob, we would be in pretty bad shape, but it's drawn us 3 cards, which is quite nice, as well as being our win condition. Uh-oh. Oh, hard. Okay, that is not a problem. So this turn I will untap the Mana Vault, just because we know we're not doing anything else with our mana. And I'll drop Tolarian Academy and Soul Ring. Time Warp. Okay, that doesn't really do anything. That's just a cantrip. Man, they drew another expensive card. Oh, Coercive Portal. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good, actually. Now they can keep up with our Bob drawing, but I still think we're in a pretty good advantage. I mean, we have a solid, actually, incredible mana advantage and a life advantage, and yeah, I think we're still in good shape. Okay, so we can draw... I'll just draw a Swamp for turn to preserve my life total and then draw the Emery. Or draw the Swamp with the Dark Confidant. So, cast Emery. We do only have 13 cards in the library, so that's something to be aware of, but I still think it's worth it to do this here. Oh, that's a bummer, hitting double Glen. That was worst case scenario. Well, we will spin the top, see what we hit. We're looking for our Mindslaver here. Ooh, okay, I think we just want to draw the Urza. So, draw a card. Oh, I should have floated mana. Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't matter here. Cast Urza. Add 3, 4, 5. Spin the Urza. Sure, we'll cast that. Play another land. We could spin the Urza again, but I don't think I actually want to do that. I'll just save the mana vault for next turn. What I really don't want is to hit the Mindslaver and then have them have a way to deal with it. If we can find Mindslaver, we just win immediately. So that's our plan here. They have 2 draws. They do have Upheaval, but if they play Upheaval, that's not that bad. We can rebuild very quickly with all of these cards that we have. They vote Carnage, we will vote Homage for sure. If we lost all of our board, then we would be in bad shape. Then we would probably just lose to Mill. All 3 of our Glens are gone, which is unfortunate because that's definitely would have been our best draw here. My parents are watching a movie in the background. I hope that's not too loud for y'all. Okay, well, this is interesting. I mean, Tolarian Academy gives them a ton of mana, and Demonic Tutor is really good. I think I'm just going to put the 2 tutors together. I don't want to give them Tolarian Academy and a Demonic Tutor, and this is really the only way to do that makes any sense. Okay, they do go for the lands. They had another oh wait, no, okay, makes sense. So they have a lot of mana. They have top, alright, and then there's the last 2 cards, so this is fine. The Academy taps for 5, which is scary. But, I mean, I guess they could hit a Narset, but there's not much they could hit here that would be scary that we've seen so far, at least. And then on our turn, between the Bob and, Urza and all our mana, we're decently likely to find Mindslaver. Oh, wait, can we just win on the attack, actually? 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 1 more artifact to win. That should be pretty easy to do. Oh, they have an Urza. Okay, we can no longer win on our turn. And their construct is bigger than our construct, which is a little unfortunate. Alright, come on, deck. Give us that Mindslaver. Hey! Alright, now we just win. So we go land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Mindslaver. Alright, sweet. So then what can happen? We tap this for 5. So we could activate Mindslaver and then replay it in the same turn because that's 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually 13 even. So we could just take infinite turns there, and I mean we would mill ourselves eventually, but in all those turns we could definitely make it through this board. So pretty sweet. We are 2-0 on to the finals, hoping the trophy in my first ever Supreme Vintage Cube draft. It's been helpful that we won all the die rolls, but it feels good. So I'll see you in the finals. All right, here we are for the finals against Chris Ray Mtg, and 3 for 3 on die rolls. Hopefully also 3 for 3 in match wins. This hand is really not broken, and it's possible we should just ship it because there's no mocks, but I think we're going to keep it. We can go turn 2 Time Walk into turn 3 turn 2 Time Walk into basically also turn 2 Ashiok, and then we can play Mind Twist for 3 the turn after. I really wish this was a Soul Ring or something instead of a Sensei's Top, but it's fine. I mean, we just need to hope our opponent doesn't do anything too broken on the first turn. Overgrown Tomb. Was not expecting that. Looks like they have a Thoughtseize, probably. Oh, that is worse than a Thoughtseize. They're making green mana. What is this? I did not. Sylvan Library. Okay, that is not as bad as I was worried about. I mean, it is sort of funny against Ashiok. Okay, yeah, that's... For a turn 1 Black Lotus turn, that is not that scary. We are going to be clearing their library a lot for the Sylvan, so that's good for them, I guess. But I still think we're in decent shape here. So we can go land, Time Walk, untap, and then go... Ooh, that's a nice one. Land, Ashiok. Oh, 3 creatures. Opposition Agent, Dryad, and Remnant of Excavator. So they are genuinely green-black. I mean, they might still be playing blue, but I respect their nerve to go for that route. These are all pretty bad cards. Although I guess we could get some value off of their Ramanat, maybe. Actually, that's sort of funny. We could put both these into play and then just like cycle this Marsh Flats a bunch every turn. Do we want to put Opposition Agent into play next turn? It does shut down some of the scary cards they could play. Badlands. Wow. All right. And then a Signet. All right. So I think I'm just going to actually Mind Twist them for 3 this turn. They paid 4 life there. Actually, no, we're just going to put the Dryad into play and then Mind Twist their whole hand. That's definitely the line. Yeah. Or Druid. No, it is Dryad. So land, and we can even tap this for mana now. Bye-bye hand. And I'm not... Yeah, they wouldn't have a counterspell or anything here. Wow, I don't know how they're in the finals, to be honest. Their deck looks terrible. I mean, it looks good and fun, but it's just not really on the power level of other cards in the format. So I'm feeling decent about our chances of trophying here, which would be very exciting. I was honestly a little worried that my skill set would not translate well to this format, that I would be too fair and too focused on like interaction and card advantage, but maybe not. We'll see. Golos. Okay, that's scary. That's actually very scary. Do we want to spin the top in our upkeep? I don't think so. Especially since we can we don't need to do that. So we'll just play Urza. They got a strip line. Okay, don't care too much about that. We can always just play their Ramen Excavator if we need to. And our Dryad can block their Golos well. Ooh. Okay, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Urza. And now we have exactly enough mana to spin Urza, which is pretty sweet. And we can even play an extra land because of that. Wow. This is pretty sweet. So add some mana. Tap this. Tap this. Tap this. Alright, sure. Mana Vault. And we go plus here. And we're hitting a lot of creatures here. Young Pyromancer and Goblin Dark Dwellers. Ooh, we can Goblin Dark Dwellers for Time Walk. That is pretty sweet. Also hit a Ren 6. So we'll pass the turn, and we should be in really good shape here. I mean, they can strip mine our land, but we can just Ramen it back if we need to. And we can just keep spinning Urza and Ashiok them. Yeah, I think we're pressuring them in many different ways, and they're not really pressuring us in any way. Breeding Pool. So it looks like they're just going for spinning the Golos here. To be honest, this is like exactly the kind of deck that I think would be bad in this format. I mean, maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. That's a really rough hit for them. That's unlucky. Although it does sort of prevent us from using Ramen Excavator effectively. Wait, they should definitely play this KTL Freebooter. Alright, so we will not be untapping this Mana Vault here because it is already untapped. Emily, interesting. I still think we're going to start by spinning the Urza. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probe, sure. Glenn, ooh, okay, that should basically seal the deal. So we can go... I guess we will tap the Mana Vault here. Well, this is awkward. We're actually pretty constrained on blue mana. I guess we don't need this construct, really. So we can just go... Yeah, this is fine. We can just go... I'm not going to worry about the Emery this turn. We'll just hold off on that. And just do this. And then pass holding up double Glen activation. Yeah, this is fine. They have 2 Renin 6s. Okay. Didn't hit any creature. So if we can untap and flashback our Time Walk with a Goblin Dark Dwellers, we just win. They should definitely not have played that land before using Golos, but I do not think it matters here. Again, I love their deck. I mean, Ren 6, Liliana the Veil, like, it's just actual Jund mid-range with, like, good interaction, but we've seen no power other than one Black Lotus, and then just a bunch of, like, cards that are not really on the power level of this format. I guess they can kill our Ashiok. That's pretty good. Oh, wait, no, they can't. Lim, putting in work. They can at least swing through our Glen now with a Kite's Elf Rebooter, but I still think that should seal the deal. Actually, this might look weird, but I'm going to chump block here. I think we just go for the kill here, and I want to keep my Ashiok around after that just in case. Interesting call not to level up the Hexdrinker there, but I think our opponent is basically just giving up probably. Alright, there it is. So, playing against Jund mid-range. They have a lot of Planeswalkers. Honestly, this actually could be a pretty bad matchup for us. Like, if they just stick a turn 1 Liliana the Veil, that's really bad. And, like, the Strip Mine Ramen X. Yeah, actually, I think this is just genuinely bad matchup for us. Like, we won that one pretty handily, but I don't think we can take that for granted. So, all of these cards look decent. Dark Confidant is, let's see. No, Silver's probably pretty bad. And I also think Dark Confidant is. They have decent removal. I think we bring in these two and then cut. Do we want to cut an Emery? Or both Emerys? Maybe we're supposed to just cut both Emerys and then bring an Animate Dad. But no, I think the Mindslaver lock is an important part of our game plan. So we can cut that. And maybe cut the Mystical Tutor on the draw. Like against a deck with Liliana the Veil, things like Mystical Tutor become a lot less impressive. And we don't actually have an answer to Planeswalkers that this can get. Like it can't get Brazen Borrower, which is our like sort of answer. So I think this is how we're gonna run it. Yeah, we'll do this. And we still have 4 black cards, so I don't really need to mess with the mana base, I think. Alright. Sounds good. It's light on mana and it has a lot of expensive cards, but definitely still a keep. Hopefully they don't have Black Lotus into Planeswalker on turn 1, and we can get to the point where we have Soul Ring up, or Daze up. Hexdrinker. Okay, well that actually could be really scary. Black Lotus. Do we want to turn 1 anything with that? So, land. I think turn 1 Urza is probably the right play here. Yeah, we'll do that. So we can go crack this for blue, cast Soul Ring. Oh, wait, we can go Urza into Time Walk on turn 1. That is savage. Holy moly. Alright. That is why you don't play things like Hexdrinker in this format. Although, maybe the Hexdrinker will actually still get us, but we'll see. That was a really good draw, actually. So, I think I just want to go Glen here. I wish we could also hold up activation, but this is fine. We'll just do this. Hit them for 1. If they want to trade Hexdrinker for half of Glen, that's fine. We still have up Daze. And then if we untap them, we definitely just win. Man, turn 1, Urza into Time Walk with Black Lotus and Soul Ring. I can understand our opponent being pretty annoyed about that. That is, I mean, there's a strong argument that these are literally the 3 strongest cards in the format. I think Ancestral is probably better than Time Walk, but at least 3 of the top 5, so having them all on turn 1 is pretty broken, but that is why you play blue. All right, sweet. That was an amazing draft. Wow, that was something. We cruised through that. I mean, we got demolished in our first game, but then we won every single game after that. I didn't think our deck... I mean, I guess this deck is pretty good. Yeah, this deck it's good. I don't actually know what the average amount of power is. We had 4 pieces of actual power, and then Soul Ring is sort of a fifth piece. I mean, yeah, this deck was really sweet. I'm a little bit results based, I think, here, but so far I love this format. That was a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to do more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.